Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Derek. Hello, Zen Jen. Hello, David. Hello, Joy. See Chris. 777 Crow. Into Seed. Hello, Bama fan. Hello, Fiery Preacher. Yeah, a lot of people woke up to an EBS test, waking everybody up. What was it? Mostly in the Florida area. Supposedly, it was just a glitch, an unintended EBS. Not certain how those things happen, right? Somebody has to set them up, put them in. Hello, Busy Bee. I'm totally going to run in circles. Well, probably not in circles. Probably going to pull a Forrest Gump, start running across the country after I get a med bed. Hello, Sub Vet. Let's see. American Renewal Patriot. As an Okie, I'm asking that everyone please pray for Oklahomans after a bad night of tornadoes. Do they have any update, injured, etc.? Definitely prayers for them. Kathy, yes. I just hope that we have raised you all well enough that you will be responsible once it goes. Yeah, there won't be much control on you guys, but you don't need control. You know what to do. Gary V, hopefully your life is improving. Today I woke up to a good old Rocky Mountain snowstorm. Isn't it just plumb crazy? Raj, Ocelot, and Melissa, yeah, just give me the egg or the mankini. You guys are awesome. Hello, Havana. Eric, yes, we finally get to see you in chat. Charlie Doodle. Dr. Key is listening to us but driving. Hello, Prissy Hen. I love this. I sincerely sit with a box of Kleenex because I'm going to be a mess from this blessing. I think many of them are going to be in the same boat. Let's see. Pick six primetime. Do I know if QFS accounts we get our appointments are multi-currency accounts? I'm being told that they're going to offer multi-currency account, but they were not specific as to whether or not. I mean, I assume it's part of the QFS, but I'm going to have to ask that question. Dawn's birthday. Happy birthday, Dawn. On an exceptionally positive note, guys, we do have a number of reports coming in the last day of people seeing extra dollars in their Social Security. I don't fully understand the rhyme and the reason yet, but we are getting multiple reports. Mr. Frausto, it is good to see you. I've had a couple say specifically $3,000 and some with some differing amounts. Mm-hmm. Rex, let's see if I can make heads or tails out of this, brother. France Stock Exchange has been invaded as we speak. Mark over pension corruption. Burning down just in. Euronext, the Paris Stock Exchange invaded after anger against. Oh, I see what you're saying. After Macron's pension reform. Guys, people are rising up. They're desperately trying to keep a cork in this thing. They're desperately trying not to cover stories so we don't know and we don't see it. Here's reality. Everybody sees the building burning. At this point, they understand the building's burning. K-Staff, they will just convert automatically. Nothing to do. Are we there yet, Jill? Let's see where we are at, right? First things first, though. The first series of arrests have been made after Iran schoolgirls were poisoned with chemical and biological attacks. Students experienced numbness, temporary paralysis, and near blackouts. Unfortunately, an attack like this could likely strike us here at home in the U.S. anytime now. Sorry about the fear mongering, guys, but these are pretty cool. As I've mentioned before, I tell you, many people in East Palestine and other areas of late probably wish they had some. This is why I highly recommend the Patriot M54 gas mask. Patriot M54 gas mask offers ultimate respiratory and facial protection against the most commonly used chemical agents used in attacks, including tear gas, pepper spray, and other toxic gases. Get the Patriot M54 gas mask for 70% off with free rush shipping and a 100% lifetime replacement guarantee included by going to getamask.com or by using my link down below. Don't forget, guys, sometimes you have to hit the more button to see the link if you're on a mobile device. Hello, wet paint. Oh, man. I like what you did with the patina and the rust there on the hood on that truck. Hello, Eeyore. Denise, has anyone in the chat received more money in their Social Security monthly check deposit? I don't know if anybody wants to ante up, but I've had a number of emails from folks that are in the chat that have said they have. So if you guys feel comfortable, sound off. Camp Sasquatch. Hello, Scott. All right, everybody. Scott Gray is with us. His first time for Jan listening. So everybody give Jan a big hello. Welcome to the community. No increase, just check, nothing extra for her. I think I saw the same amount, not me. Just trying to read and keep up with it. Wheel of Art, lots of people having a tough time finding me. They don't pay attention. How many times we go, hey guys, you should probably follow us at the backup channel because things are getting touchy. But they know listen. They know listen to me. Hello, Gene. Hello, Nell York. All right, I'm going to try to keep up with it. Trying to keep up with your chat. Let's see. Eric, my wife did not get any more on hers. Mine's due Tuesday. We'll see. Keep us posted, Eric. Starseed, glad you found us over here. I didn't even look when I put in for the evening ones last night. Did it go to? Oh, yeah. Git's on top of it. Git had on the website had us pointed towards. And guys, if you ever lose us, it's an easy way to find us. Just go to theoriginalmarkz.com, go to home, go to the latest video here, click on it, bam, it will pop up wherever it's at. If it happens to be on YouTube, happens to be on Rumble, whatever of the largest areas where we can put it, that's where it will be. You won't have to search for it. Easy to find. Arnold, what is up, my brother from another mother? I think distributed according to birth date. I'm just interested in what you guys are going with the Golden Mankini channel. There is quite a bit of activity for me to be censor proof going on behind the scenes right now. We'll share it when it all becomes very firm. Toadstool had an extra payment of $1,400 that was not expected. Awesome, blessings. We'll get to RV news. We got to wait for the Twitch ads to roll through. I took coins to the bank, got 75.49, asked if they were ready for QFS. Tell her looked like a deer in the headlights. She did not know what I was saying. I just grinned. Yeah, a lot, man, there it was. EBS Florida. We also got reports overnight from EBS going off in the UK again. Tabitha, okay, I couldn't find you on YouTube or Rumble and listened every day. Started my hot flashes immediately. Fed Up Patriot, thank you for the super sticker. All right, ads are done. Oh, yeah, probably should do this one too. Let's do this and then dive into news. The second largest and third largest bank runs in history happened last month. The government's taking steps to guarantee all deposits. That means more money printing. Thousands have approached Noble Gold Investments to secure their wealth with gold. Gold's the most stable asset outside of government control. Hurry and go to noblegoldinvestments.com or markzeekgold.com. Secure your wealth. Bag a 5-ounce, a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin. If you qualify, noblegoldinvestments.com. markzeekgold.com. Way better. Now we will put in the news time. We'll throw the hat. And for many of those, you did see, and I am so glad you guys have made it a point to follow and subscribe for Militia Man. The news out of Iraq continues to be phenomenal. Now, as expected, just like I told you guys, they are going to give us the carrot and the stick often throughout the week. Totally expected over the past, as we get closer to this thing. And they did. They did exactly that. all this positive, just glowing news, and then they throw in the one questioning one. After approving the triple budget, meaning the budget for 3 years, political forces are fearing government domination of parliament. Just a little fluff piece. Hey, we're not completely finished yet. Hopefully we will be. That normal piece they have to get in there so that everybody around the world doesn't rush off and buy a crap ton of Iraqi dinar. The expected part to keep us with a little bit of smoke. But meanwhile, we have some more positive pieces that we have picked up since last night. Minister of Finance directs the working hours of Al Rashid and Al Rafadam employees during the Al Fatir holiday. Guys, they've got them working like days straight. So they're going to work throughout the holiday, which 99% of the country is off. The claim is that it's to complete the procedures for paying salaries of employees for the current month. And I see this as very important because they want dinar in their hands if they are indeed going to revalue their currency or reset their currency. It would be very important to be open in banking. A lot of folks in Iraq are looking, they believe this is a cover. They also believe it's necessary because it is payday for many in the country based on how they do their government employee payouts and stuff. Now, I do find it curious because a lot of these government employees have not been getting paid because of the budget, but suddenly the bank needs to be open. So does that mean they approve the budget quietly and just have not told us or made an announcement? Because that has been an ongoing problem. They haven't, without the budget, a number of employees just simply haven't. They've just been going to work. Some of the banks started offering them any-day payday loans because they know they're going to get paid so that they could get by. I think this is very important because these banks are going to be open for the stated reason of paying government employees. I think this is a piece we should be paying attention to. I haven't had an opportunity to ask Militiaman directly, but I will and get his take on it. I think this is a important piece of news for us. Iraqi market suspends its activities for 5 days. Now think about this one. We've got right over here, bank's going to stay open. We got to get everybody paid, etc. But the stock market's going down. They're going to shut it down for 5 days. I totally get the holiday thing. You would think if it were all about the holiday, they would just shut it all down. Everybody would go do their holiday. But they need to get money in the hands. But they're also closing the stock market at the same time. Asset changes, price changes, fluctuations, because we've always expected a major sell-off or reorganization when it goes. I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting in my book, the timing of the two. Having a tough time believing it is simply coincidence. I can take off the news time for this one. We're still getting all kinds of chatter on the bond side. I am getting more and more reports of changed procedures for payout and some KYC changes that they are scrambling to take care of today and tomorrow. Still very positive on the bond side. I'll let you know when somebody actually has like full spendable dollars and not just a resell deal. I can't think of anything else. I haven't heard anything on CMKX specifically. Mr. C texted this morning. He has not been visited yet. Lots of distractions on that one. Lots of smoke being thrown out. Well, maybe it's not him. Maybe it's this person, guys. It doesn't matter. Let him throw the smoke out there. Keeps Mr. C safe. I'm all about it. Now I'm just trying to keep up with you guys for a moment or two, and then we'll keep talking about some news. Just Beachy, I'm glad you made it. Oh, yeah. What is our, oh, wow. Holy smokes. Maryland, thank you for that super sticker, especially as they really beat on the monetization with the temporary ban. Let's be frank. And what was it? Back surgery? Is that somebody was telling me, or I read a blip? I don't remember where I saw this one, but something about back surgery for SG and Han and his family. Definitely, guys, add them for prayers there for healing, for all of it, for everybody in the community. Brian, chatter, ready for some action, right? More cheddar, less chatter. I think that needs to be our new one. Gary, let's see. I want to be your brother from another mother too, since I can't sleep. Hey, look, Gary, I prefer all you guys be my extended brothers. It has been a painful loss this year or this past year. So yeah, I can use extra brothers, man. So many of you guys have stepped in. Gerald, Fred, so many of you guys have just been fantastic and amazing. Frank, I am still running on my dong expectations of somewhere between 2.25. Keep in mind, we're not going to know till we get there, no matter what. But yeah, I continually hear around more like the $4 range is what I continue to hear from everybody. I just would rather be pleasantly surprised than disappointed in any way. Oh, heck, it could come at $1 and I'd be excited. Roger, could you name the first batch of currencies you expect so I can write these down? Sure. We expect all of the BRICS countries, the first 5 BRICS countries, to revalue, which is, of course, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. We don't expect those to be massive changes, or I don't. Now, remember, guys, I'm not a professional. Use your own judgment, make your own calls, do your own research, etc. I'm just telling you my deep dives. Yeah, I hate always having to go through those. But anyways, so we expect those. The biggest winners we are expecting at this point right now, or I am, me personally, of course, is Iraq, Vietnam, the VND, the Iraqi dinar. Also expecting changes in Zimbabwe, changes in Venezuela. Iran still on the fence. We don't know if it's going to be in the first or second. My sources are still very up in the air on that one. I tend to think it's probably not going in the first, which create an opportunity. Lot of chatter, a lot of movement on, or a lot of connected people collecting Pango for this first one, Hungarian. I don't know what to expect on that one. I have a little. I've not heard anything that I consider solid or repeatable on rates for Venezuela or the Pango. I just hope they're solid. I'm trying to think. Those are really the big ones for the first one. The second round is where it'll get more interesting because I'm told the rest of the African countries will float over time, 6 to 9 months after this round. That's what I'm really trying to keep an eye on. I don't know how long it'll take Afghanistan. That's one of my second favorites for like after this first one. Mongolia, I am told, and some of the Asian countries will float over time or go on what they're calling a second basket. But I'm being told there's not really any baskets after this first one, that everything will float individually as those countries are prepared and ready. Whew. That wore me out. Let's go. Yes, I am told the Zimbabwe currency that they are using now is going to change as well. Not just like the Zim, what we call the Zim bonds or the old agro checks. I'm being told that their currency, that they're going to see both values change. Oh, another one of my favorites, of course, and I don't know. This is one that might be in the first one now, Uganda. Susie Q, I'm a jealous woman. No more sleeping with all these floozies. Hey, I love these floozies. They're my people. Infidel. Good. It's good to see you, Infidel, too. There's only now one person I've not been able to find in here is Zafad's Planet. Don't know if you're here or not. You're not in the back office is kicked out, so I don't know if the YouTube is just beating on you again. Trying to keep up. Afghanistan. We don't know if it's going to make it into the second and the third. It's going to take time. My best guess is probably more like 18 months, a year to 18 months before we see it move. OB, I'm being told they are not putting any restrictions in on certain items we can buy. I've not been told they have any plan on that one. Turkey, rather expected to go on the first one. Israel on the first one as well. Yeah, I don't even think about a lot of these until you guys mention them. Unredacted, thank you. Harold, guys, going for an x-ray. He mentioned that he fell, I guess it was last week. They set an appointment for him. I think it was like 7 this morning for Harold to go get a x-ray. because he is still in a lot of pain. It is just ripping. No change. I wish I had news for you on Venezuela. I just don't. Gene, I really, I'm looking forward to getting this one wrapped up soon so that I can go watch the video of the SpaceX rocket supposedly exploded. Well, I shouldn't say supposedly. At this point, it's a well-known fact that it exploded soon after launch. I want to see how far it got, how spectacular. I love the engineering approach. This is like a real world engineering approach, unlike NASA, which spends billions and billions and billions of dollars, and SpaceX does it for pennies on the dollar. But they do it by trying it and failing, figuring out what went wrong, and then fixing it. This is like really old school engineering. This is like the kind of engineering that I grew up with, watching with my grandfather, my uncle Pete, also a machinist. They just built things. My step grandfather, Poppy Bill, building, I forget what he called it, this really cool timbering machine. I just like it. They build it, they figure it out, they do their best, and then they start tweaking it. When things break, they go back to the drawing board and they figure it out, and they just keep doing it. I love the perseverance. I ran into the firmament. Boop! I totally. Frosty Dave. Wait, Frosty Dave, are you actually Flat Earth Dave? Oh, wait. DNA defines you. And thank you guys for bringing these to me, because I am a bit of a science geek. An emergency situation occurred 3 minutes after the launch of SpaceX Starship. After reaching an altitude of 38 kilometers, the rocket began to spin. The first stage did not separate. Yeah, that's actually what I was curious, was to whether or not the first stage separated or not. 38 kilometers, though. That is getting up there. That's high. That's higher than I was like last time I hung out with Willie Nelson and Snoop Dogg, man. I had to throw the humor. It is 420. Today is April 20th, and if you don't get that one, you've missed out on a lot of pop culture. Right? Oh, Proud Right says SpaceX blew it up using the flight termination system explosive that did not blow up on its own. That is a great sign in my book, Proud Right. That means they've got a lot of data that they can work with for the next launch. Jam Brosine, no damage to the pad, which is critical. Complete use. God, I love this. For your information, I was nowhere near SpaceX this morning. Trash Panda. Yeah, guys, if you don't know, they originally thought that it was Trump's fault that the Liberty Bell had a crack. They've now determined that Trash Panda was there when the bell was cast. Oh. Victoria Lowell left cookies and milk for Willie, but my belly was growling. He puffed and passed over in my house. You guys are hilarious. All right. Let's keep running. We got some world news. Bobby, I did find you in the naughty house. YouTube put you in there, and I pulled you back out on your other account this morning. Just thought I'd give you that heads up. Seeing you there reminded me. I'm having to go through it daily now. Don't scream at us in the mods. YouTube is having a lot of fun. Let's see, Melissa's birthday today, to go with Dawn. Yeah, no need to watch it. I'm still watching the video. I'll admit, I go to NASCAR for the races too. I mean, for the wrecks. Gee, please, well, being handicapped, it'll be difficult. But yeah, all right, let's do this one, G. I don't know where these strange things come from, but I don't know if I've got enough latitude in my camera, but let's give it a shot, guys. There are my feet. No, no GPS device on it. You can't even make up some of the craziness that people post out there. All right, let's get that back out of the way. Did it? Hold on. All right. They have all the GPS tracking devices they need on me, smartwatch, all those things. Yeah, right. They could just put JB Weld on the Liberty Bell. Miss Kimberly, it just sucks when you are counting on the community to be friends and they keep putting you into YouTube jail. Makes funds. Toadstool, no pants. No, I'm wearing shorts. And they're comfy too. Who knows anything about the Boulevard? This one really does suck for the community. The person that was the most knowledgeable was Nick Fleming on that one. PGH, it's good to see you. Hoping to see the gold booty shorts. No, just some gray shorts. Lori, my husband wants me to watch the rocket blow up. I'm looking forward to watching that one. Sharon, thanks. Let's see. Mankini bracelets. We're not going that crazy. Twitter froze with the image of your shorts. That's scary. All right, some guys, they're saying, hey, love you too, unredacted truth. You and your family. Tell your daughter and your husband I said hello. Tell them Stacy says hello. Let's see. Thanks for sharing. Wasn't Darlene? You're welcome. Yeah, it's easier when you see those crazy rumors, guys. Rather than spread them around, rather than any of those things, just ask. I'll probably get a good chuckle out of it, and I'll show you my ankles. Somebody just said that TNT Tony also has a lot of news on the Boulevard. Guys, I don't follow any of the boards. I don't know if he's upset if you share his information or not, but please, guys, don't hesitate to help keep yourselves informed with what's going on. Let's see. Did you see Jesus Believer post? I did not. There are now 2 videos of 2 separate rockets that have come to a dead stop when colliding with the firmament. Look at the flight path of every rocket launch. It's the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Where the flight paths? Oh, this will be a fun one. That's it. We're calling Mike Barr. Sunny and Erie, PA today. Swing by and tell Mr. C I said hello. Whoa. Let's see. Oh, Texas Pilot. This one's easy. The only bondholders that have spendable cash are bondholders that did private tabletop deals to resellers. So they had some people that wanted to buy it, and it's time. The overwhelming majority of bond people, when it's coming to like full price, they don't have diddly squat yet. Some banks have loaned them some dollars or investments on the exchange. That's my understanding of what we're actually seeing, Texas Pilot. That would just be like somebody they can't find any more Iraqi dinar anywhere to buy, so they look at you and say, "Hey, would you sell me yours for $3,000 a million? I know you only paid $1,000, and you need the money." And you're like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take it. It's good money." So that's what we're seeing. Kurt expected gold nail polish. I mean, for an old busted guy, I got pretty decent toenails, man. Jay Gutta. Yeah, we're hearing that, Jay Gutta. I am looking for, we may end up getting I may squeeze in an afternoon one. We'll see. Matthew, I don't know if you guys want whiskey and wisdom. I'm pretty open this evening if you guys want to make up for not having one last night. I was in a mad scramble last night to correct some stuff. Advertisers have paid for a certain number of whatever. Now we're on a different platform. So, anyways, a lot of crap had to be worked out yesterday for me. Protesters storming Euronext stock market with torches, calling on Macron to resign. Oh my God, I love this one. It is heating up, Jay Gutta. Who needs Snoop and Willie when you got Matt and right? We don't need. Well, I like Willie. Snoop Dogg's politics have gone so far off the rails that he doesn't even know what he believes anymore. But we do. We've got Matt and Lucas. Let's see. Oh, geez, I tell you, I don't even want to dive into the whole firmament thing. All right. We're having fun, but we're not getting anything covered in the world news. Dow Jones futures fall more than 200 points after jobless claims. Yeah, we're getting more people unemployed. Corporate profits are going down. All these things we've been expecting for some time, and the markets are acting surprised. A really, really good piece in here. Greg Hunter's USA Watchdog did an interview with Charles Niener, who's been warning of war cycles. He's been talking about the petrodollar, how the petrodollar wasn't necessarily a bad idea. It was our weaponization of it that has led to its now inevitable demise. But he talks about the cycles of war. And if you follow history, there are cycles: boom, bust, sideways, not much growth, sudden growth. I mean, you can expect them. You can almost, within a handful of years, you can predict them. And if you are into following those, we're due for massive war. And he's warning that we could lose up to 30% of our population, maybe even more. This war cycle would not be unheard of. And he goes into, I mean, it's worth the read and the watch, especially the watch. It's a little bit on the long side, but pretty solid if you're up for it. It's what we're fighting, guys. It's what we are fighting. Significant international currency reform taking place without major disruption is good for the world. Yeah, it is. Let's just see if we can do it without too much disruption. And I brought this one out just because there are more and more organizations, more and more publications, more and more experts around the world that are seeing the writing on the wall. House GOP unveils debt limit bill, proposes $1.5 trillion debt ceiling increase. In other words, we want to fight it next year. We got a lot of work to do here. There are a lot of lobbyists that want us to take us to dinner, and we got a vacation or two to take on the pharmaceutical companies. We'll get to this next year. Here's $1.5 trillion to keep things floating, so we can put this off. Once again, what is the most important job of our legislator? It is the purse strings. It is setting a budget. When was the last time they actually passed a budget, an actual budget, where they sat down with pen and paper and figured out exactly what was needed to run the government, made changes, etc.? That would be 2007, guys. 2007. I would argue, and I could argue it, I think, very eloquently, that our Congress has been in contempt of the American people, we the people, since 2007, because they've been unable to do their most important job, and that is do our budget. Their second one, pass laws. I mean, they were literally designed by our Constitution to control the purse strings. I mean, it was like then legislative, and they have been unable to do it. As far as I'm concerned, the entire bunch of them are derelict in their duties to the American people. All right. Can you tell? And I am not a Kevin McCarthy fan. I thought this one was interesting. It will be in. It will be in the links. I think we should all sign up. Facebook Incorporated Consumer Privacy User Profile Litigation. They sold your information. Let them read your direct messages. You had no privacy. They violated their own terms. And there is a massive, what do we call these things, guys? Class action settlement going on against them to the tunes of hundreds and hundreds of millions. I think we should all sign up and join it. That's just my personal opinion, to let them know that we expect our privacy and constitutional rights to be honored, period. All right, now back to it. Epic. I'm telling you, man, this chick is a troll of epic proportions, and I love it. MTG bears fangs, throws House meeting into chaos over Swalwell's sexual relationship with China. And so Swalwell gets up doing his normal Bush bashing, telling the whole world in Congress how we are a massive problem. He breaks out of his little charts and everything else. And then as soon as he finishes, she takes her moments to start her opening conversation with, and these are her exact words, and I could totally hear her saying it, to Eric. That was quite entertaining from someone that had a sexual relationship with a Chinese spy, and everyone knows it. Green said, kicking off her 5 minutes allotted time. Guys, it is totally, I mean, he's here talking about misinformation and everybody, the whole thing, Kanye, Elon, Trump, all of it, right? He's showing his examples. He's got his big old poster boards like he's in middle school doing his first presentation. And she drops that one on him. I'm still laughing. All right, will RFK Jr. save the Democratic Party and the country with it? A lot of mixed stuff going on. I think it's very positive. He is, of course, he's a progressive. He's an actual real progressive. He is pro-abortion. He's not pro-unlimited or unchecked, but he is anti-forced vaccine. It should totally be your choice, in his opinion. He is officially announced. It's no longer him saying, yeah, I'm going to do it. He had the whole coming out party talking about it, had donors there, etc., supporters, staff, as he launches his campaign, which is going to force a tremendous amount of conversation on the left. He's a legitimate contender. He's not one of those that Joe gets to ignore in any way. He's a Kennedy. And he speaks for the backlash, or the, what's the word I'm looking for here? The Democratic Party has turned its back on a portion of its base. They've turned its back on, for the largest part, minorities, other than rhetoric. Turned its back on Hispanics, religious churchgoers, the Black community that believes in God, as they have gone very woke in their ideology. There has been a backlash in the Democratic Party. This is similar to the backlash that we see in the Republican Party with the MAGA faction. The Republican Party is pushing back against the rhinos. This is a similar thing to what we are seeing going on in the Democratic Party. Now, the question is whether or not he is going to be bigger than the minority woke portion or not, or louder and get traction. I think this, for you political scientists and history buffs out there, this one is going to be a fascinating one to watch play out. Judge sides with Representative Jordan, denies District Attorney Bragg's request to block the House GOP subpoena. Said, yeah, absolutely. Jordan is correct in questioning whether this is political and its effects on the future of government, meaning if this is political, and it appears to be, and the overwhelming consensus from most talking heads is that it is a political witch hunt done to shut Trump up on somebody, from somebody that hates him. That's not my words. Everybody else out there is saying them, including CNN, including CNBC. I've seen it all over YouTube with other people commenting on it on both sides of the political aisle. This is important because he brings up a good point. The judge, when they said that absolutely it can move forward and you have to appear before Congress, pointed out that a political witch hunt like this will affect the ability of a president to do their job, because they will constantly feel handicapped or have a hand tied behind their back because they're worried about a pissed off prosecutor down the road that just has an axe to grind politically. And I thought it was a great point. In other words, this sets a tremendous precedence for the country moving forward. So they're allowing it to move forward. That is an enormous B slap to to Bragg's, well, I don't think I can find anybody out there other than Bragg that doesn't think the case is already dead in the water. All right, Wall Street Journal. Look at this, guys. Hunter Biden probes being mishandled. IRS supervisor says. IRS supervisor has receipts, has everything, and is saying they're trying to bury this. They're not handling it right. They are literally doing their best to bury this for him, even though he has broken all of these crimes and is coming forward. This story ran on CBS. This story has run on almost all the major news organizations. This is where I think we are truly starting to win, guys. Non-binary Biden administration official ordered to undergo mental health evaluation after avoiding jail time. After avoiding jail time on multiple felonies, from stealing very expensive luggage in different airports around the country. This is the person that was in charge of your nuclear waste for a while for the Biden administration. Yeah, the whole "ye without sin cast the first stone," but I don't think I've ever stolen. Well, I know I've never stolen some poor lady's very expensive luggage and then fashion modeled them all over social media. I mean, this can't make up the craziness in the Biden administration right now. All right, Damar Hamlin reveals the official cause of his collapse, condition rare to adult players. The official, I've been waiting for them to come up with something. I've been totally waiting. They needed to let the hubbub die down before they could even have this conversation, in hopes that most people have already lost the shock of seeing him there on the field in cardiac arrest in the midst of almost dying. They need to let that hubbub. He's going to return to pro football is what they're saying now. But it was because it usually happens to young people. They have a smaller chest wall because they're thinner. They don't have as much maybe fat or muscle. So it's easier if your heart gets hit just in the right period of a beat, just at that right exact time, then it can cause it to stop a few seconds later. And forget what they call it, but supposedly this is what happened. It just rarely ever happens to adults because they have a larger or thicker chest wall. Usually only happens to teenage boys because they're into more, blunt forced sports. Just really rare ever to happen in an adult, but he's cleared to go back to practicing and playing football now. I've been waiting for some kind of explanation. And we knew it was coming, and we knew they had to take their time so they could slip it in. Yeah, probably should have rearranged these. In-depth experts link transgender ideology to an elevated risk of violent radicalization. You think? But now I did. If you read this one, guys, these same experts are effectively trying to tie it to, because it's a community that feels marginalized, similar to our community, as to why we might be easy to radicalize. And, I find that very. You're not radicalizing us. We just believe in what was normal 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But now they're trying to convince us that we are marginalized in some kind of minority when we're actually the majority of the population out there. The majority of the population thinks that you should do the right thing. Prayer's okay. Men shouldn't go to the bathroom with your daughters. I mean, it's just these crazy things. We're actually in the majority, but they're trying to convince us we are marginalized in the minority. But I found kind of a correlation to why they're the experts are terming these things this way. It is true, though, with marginalized. They are very easy radicalized, and these people already have a lot of mental issues going on. Interesting read if you're up for it. Watch, former director of national intelligence admits the Fauci lied about gain of function. I wonder if I'm allowed to talk about this one. Yeah, kind of afraid. There's still things that I am afraid to talk about because I need to be here on this platform when things go. And by the way, some Americans shouldn't get another. They've changed things, and that's all I'm going to say on that one because I know I will get in trouble. Hey, do we have Skelfla popping back in and yet another name, another cool whatever? Could you imagine? You want to talk about somebody with mental issues that you're willing to spend that much time and resources. Nuts. Oh, just like was it in California, guys? Judge trying to put a male that now identifies at the trial identified as a female. The person was being tried for raping women. And I'm trying to be careful. So, literally being prosecuted for raping women, but now identifies as a woman. And the judge was trying to justify putting that person in prison with women, in a woman's prison. How do you possibly make up that level of craziness? And many people just go, okay, they won't say anything because they're afraid of being canceled or the backlash. Dude, cancel me if that's what you need to do, because I believe in real things and real values. If that's what makes your world go round, give it your best shot. Because one thing we have learned, you always come back bigger and stronger after those frivolous cancellations. There you go. It's called Commotio Cordis. Thank you, MT. Fed Up Patriots, good to have you in here. It's just, I mean, I think it's important for us to get together and know that we're not alone. They're trying, the whole world out there trying to convince you you're crazy when you're not. It is the mass psychosis, gaslighting at its absolute strongest. Just like the trolls in here saying, hey, you know, values are never going to change, currencies or whatever. But you see all the evidence around you. You see BRICS, you see the move to asset backed, and you've got these people saying, hey, nothing's happening. I mean, you're watching it happen all around you. You're reading the news about changes in currency values, and they're all in here trolling, saying, hey, these things are, y'all are full of it. None of this is happening. You're deluding yourself while you're watching it happen. I don't even know how to describe the attempted gaslighting going on. You are watching it play out in front of your eyes. Toadstool, they shut down the mental hospitals on purpose years ago just for this effect. Toadstool, I won't argue with you. Matter of fact, I will support your opinion on this one. I think that was one of the greatest tragedies in our country. Not that I think many of the mental hospitals were effectively managed, but the thought we do now, our prison system has become a nut house largely. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's legitimate criminals in there that need to be locked up, and there's many that they put out on the streets because they have to weigh and measure, because there's so many in there with mental health issues that there aren't rooms for other ones. And of course, the for-profit prison system absolutely loves it because they're making a killing doing this. Sanity, sanity, sanity. When will we find it? See, Fed Up, I believe that. I couldn't believe it when that all started. It makes sense looking back. It does. If you think about what we've watched it. And Fed Up Patriot, this is a good point. Fed Up Patriot says, now that you look at it, you can see the signs. You can see the very calculated attempt to pull down westernized civilization. The assault on mental health so that they are now on the streets to create a problem that makes it look like all of society is losing it. The breakdown of the family, the glorification of thug-like behavior. And I know now thug, that's even considered a word that's racist for some reason. You know, I don't care what your skin tone is on the thug part. If you're taking from others, stealing, all that, then you know that's not okay. If you're threatening people with violence or doing violence, it's not okay. But it is. I mean, it's very programmed destruction. They went after the black family first. Then they went after the white family. They've gone after all families, but they have. And then they've glorified the behavior. It has been a measured takedown of Western civilization, sanity, and norms. They've done it on purpose, and it's been a very calculated thing. Hey, the bad thing is they told us they were going to do it, and then we just watched it happen. Well, not all of you. You guys were fighting back. I was screaming, but they did. Thugs come in black robes. Seven Silvermen, they do very often do come in black robes. They come as sometimes your leaders that have legalized the theft of your money, and they call it government. Song of Joy. I wish there was a magic treatment. Song of Joy, and thank you for sharing this one because it's got to be tough to have these conversations, but we need to have them. Our son's been in and out of a mental hospital here in Washington, currently in it now. It is difficult to watch somebody with mental health issues. Thanks, June. K Cress. Yeah, absolutely. MK Ultra could be responsible, or they could simply have used MK Ultra's research to take advantage of. Man, I love these conversations. I know we go astray often, guys, and we get very off on a tangent, but the world needs to have more of these intellectual conversations as to where we are morally, how we got there, where we're going, what we need to change. Samantha's birthday. Happy birthday, Samantha. Liberty, feminizing men. No thanks. Alpha only. Liberty USA. I do wish I could still take out the trash and split the firewood. That part does bother me. Bearded Patriots, I do think that med beds will help with mental issues. I don't know if they will immediately fix them. This is just my belief, guys. I believe it will help fix the underlying if there's a physical imbalance. I still think we need to have many more conversations. And this is therapy for many. What we're doing right now, these conversations that we're having are helping many people cope, not only with where we're at in an RV. That's only part of it. And to me, that's one of the smallest parts of our community. But these conversations help us work through things, work through the frustrations, so we don't have to feel as marginalized. So we feel like somebody's listening and somebody cares, because it's important. And it's even more important because somebody does care and you are surrounded by them. And man, yes, have more conversations. Get in touch with your feminine side, but only on the emotion side. Don't forget how to change a doorknob, change the oil, change a tire, put a little new trim up in the dining room. Don't stop being a man, for God's sake. Kukla, it's good to see you. Well, you were there and then you were gone. Ronald, it will depend on the rate paid. Just take that 500,000 and multiply it by whatever the rate is. If the rate were to come out at $1, it'd be 500,000 US. If the rate comes out as high as some are expecting at $4, then that would be $2 million. NAC does amazing things for mental health. There's some really, really awesome research out there on NAC and mental health. And if you have somebody with mental health issues or PTSD, there's a lot of research that shows that fasting of 3 days minimum, it doesn't seem to massively change. It seems to be like a series of 3-day fasts. Because it breaks down the alkaline. There's some kind of plaque that's associated in the brain with mental health too. There's some really cool research on fasting and its effects on depression, PTSD, and kind of resetting that mental clock. There's so much cool stuff out there. All right. I personally miss tuning my own carburetor. I was like the king of the Rochester carburetors. People would come to me just to just to get that secondary vacuums to open and everything. Hollies were too easy. Had to specialize, right? Daniel, yes, these conversations need to happen because hope must be manifested. Daniel, it does. Here's the curious thing about the human mind, guys. The human mind cannot really distinguish between imaginary and real. And this is important because of manifestation. And the whole concept of thinking it into being. It's like visualizing taking that basketball shot if you're an athlete. visualizing that long jump. Those things have a measurable effect, but in so many things of our life, it does. And that's kind of like hope. And I think it's personally healthy to imagine what you're going to do when this blessing happens, to imagine how you're going to help people. It raises your vibration, it puts you in a better place. Many people out there are like, oh, don't imagine those things. That's not healthy because you're never going to get this, you're never going to get that. That's defeatism. That is stinking thinking. I personally think all of us should think about what we are going to do for others when this thing occurs. Beach, I am still feeling exceptionally confident. Man, am I feeling good about where we're at. Let's see what Skefla has to say this time. What's up? Yep, guys, this is Skefla. And I'm going to guess you still are psychotic and fixated with everybody else but your own life. Go Muppets. Yeah, who didn't like the Muppets? Even though we've heard some questionable things about Henson. Yeah, I was particularly fond of, the two old dudes. Yeah, the eagle one and the other one sitting in the stands. Stadler and somebody. I thought that one was hilarious. Words plant seeds. Let's see. Jada Chaldagata would love to help the homeless and at the same time refurbish old abandoned buildings. I even came up with the name Shelter Under His. Ooh, I like that one. Shelter Under His Wings. Honey Badger, I have no idea what Frank's intel was from last night. But I can tell you, the news continues to be phenomenal out of Iraq. Gail, the old man on the balcony. Walter and Stadler, I think that's absolutely correct. That sounds right. All right, guys, it is time to sing happy birthday and get out of here. Let's see. Kukla says, happily heavenly birthday to my dad, James. Not a day goes by that I don't think of him. Love you, Dad, and miss you. Happy heavenly birthday. Boom, boom, boom. Put that frog in some warm water and boil. That's what they do to us. We got to scream. All right, birthday people. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love. Make all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. The old guy Muppets, yeah, I love those. Waldorf Stadler. One of the other ones I loved, what was it? The beaker and the little crazed scientist. And I like the chef Shirdy Bork. Oh wait, I'm missing some of these birthday ones. It's going too quickly. Mel's dad's birthday, 98. Wow, 98 is awesome. All right, everybody. Tonight, 7. Yeah, I mean, be prepared. I may go long. Or we may just come back and do a whiskey and wisdom. You guys certainly deserve it. I could certainly use one. I got everything wrapped up last night that I needed to. So come on. All right. See you guys this evening at 7.